Hello, this is Professor Dustin Broomball with a quick review of the course expectations and some details about EDU 545, Curriculum and Assessment for Teachers for the Summer 2 course of Summer 2016. Once again, Dustin Broomball. Hope everybody's doing good. Go through this real quick of all the different expectations, and hopefully you find this informative. Class, if you would, class begins on Monday, June 20th. You'll go into the class confirmation here. Just tell a little bit about yourself on the very first day. So please don't do this early. Don't do it Tuesday. We need everybody to log into Moodle and to go right here. Just a few sentences about about yourself, please. All right. Next we have the syllabus. Let's go through that real quick. All right. Once again, my name. This is my cell phone number if you would need to get a hold of me. But I think the best method would be the Georgetown email here. I'm going to check that every day if you were to have a question or a concern or anything. Obviously, some addendums to the syllabus that Georgetown puts out. The textbook, I've sent this to anybody that was registered for the class. I sent this out in an email, but this is important that you have purchased. Hopefully, you've already purchased it by now. If not, please go ahead and do so immediately, please. Live text. The only time we'll use live text will be for the final project that I'll go through here in just a moment, but that is where you will put your final project the last week of class. You'll upload it in Moodle, but most importantly, be sure that you put it in live text. That's where it'll be graded. All right, all of the objectives for the course. All right, so week one, as I mentioned with the textbook, read chapters 1, 2, and 3 for week one. And then week one, your assignments besides reading will be forum number 1. I'll go through the forums, how the expectations for that here in just a moment. Week 2, some more chapters. Also in week 2 will be forum number 2, as well as paper number 1. And once again, I'll go through the forums, and in this case, I'll go through the expectations for the papers on here as well. Week 3, chapters, forum number 3. Week 4, chapters, Form 4, Paper 2. Week 5, chapters, Form 5. Week 6, Paper number 3. And then week 7, the submission of the core assessment. This is something, please don't wait around till the end to do this. This is going to be worth quite a few points. All right, so how you're going to be evaluated. As I just talked about, there are 5 different forums. Each of them is 10 points each for 50 points total, and that is a fourth of your final grade. So basically, and I'll go into the Moodle here in just a moment, but each week I will post some sort of reflection or a topic that was related to the chapters or things like that. You are to go through the forum each week. You should have an original post that is 250 words or more based on the content that I've specified. And then you need to other people in your class, at least post for at least 3 other people in the forum. I'm not really going to be counting words or anything like that, but your original one should be 250 or more. A nice original post, put some thought, some reflecting into it. And then this one here, obviously, some feedback to the other, to your peers. Doesn't necessarily have to be 250 words, but it needs to be substantial though. Just basically like you were having a conversation, but obviously we're doing this in an online format. This is how I'll be grading those forums. For the most part, the forums, 4 points for your 4 points for your original post, and then 2 points for each of the 3 posts for the other people. So 4 points here, 2 points on these, so 10 points total. All right, 3 papers. Basically, those 3 papers that I just talked about, each are worth 25 points. And since there are 3 of them, that'll be 75 total points. which is also another quarter of your grade. Basically, I'm going to be giving you an article, and you're to reflect on it for 2 pages or more. The paper should be double spaced in 12 font. Um, Basically, I don't need a cover page or anything like that. Just put your name, um, what the course is, summer 2, and then just, in good writing style, of course, like I said, double space 12 font. Do some reflecting, some commenting on some things that you agree, disagree with. If you reference anything, obviously make sure and cite it according to APA format. But basically, what did you get out of the information in the article? At least 2 pages, 2 full pages or more. Um, is the expectation. What am I going to count off for? I need you to do some deep reflecting and some thought into it. If it's just 2 pages of garbage, you're not going to score well, obviously, on it. But this is an assessment class, so we really think through the mindset of, how can I take this information and take it back to my own classroom? And basically, how's that going to help you be a better teacher and do things better for your students? And then lastly, the core assessment is 50% of your grade worth 125 points. I'm going to go through here shortly. There's 3 parts to it. Part 1 is 50 points. Part 2 is worth 50 points. And Part 3 is worth 25. So description of the core assessment. So Part 1 is an overall assessment plan, also referred to as the OAP, which requires descriptions of how the candidate applies assessment for a number of purposes, how results are analyzed, and how instruction is changed as a result. I will fully admit that this is a project that the final project is a Georgetown requirement. This is the one that you will put up in live text, but you're going to be basically going through an assessment plan of how you plan to assess a group of students, how you're going to analyze results, and then what are you going to do based on those results to change the instruction. Typically during the fall or spring courses, teachers would be typically in their classroom and could use something that they're actually doing at that time. So I would recommend, as a former teacher myself, I'd recommend that you go ahead and if you still have the information, utilize something that you've already used for in class already. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. Just make sure that you pick a quality one that you've done. So once again, Part 1 is an overall assessment plan for a group of students, specifically in real terms, a class that you have, whether you make one up or whether you've actually used one in the past, that's up to you. But you need a strong description of how the candidate, that's you, applies assessment for a number of purposes. And I'm going to be looking at how were you planning on using the results of that assessment that you gave? How did the instruction change because of the results? Part 2 is the results analysis from Part 1. So basically, once again, I realize that you're not in class right now. This is a Georgetown requirement, so whether you make something up, or I'd prefer a base case scenario of something you've already used in the past, if you still have the information of how the students did on that. You are to design a learning experience according to the required parameters and evaluates the outcome. So basically, here's an assessment. You're going to analyze that assessment and then evaluate the outcomes. And I'm going to show some examples of this here in just a moment. All right, Part 3 is you're going to do reflecting on. There's some questions that I need you to answer and reflect on, where you respond to a number of questions related to basically Parts 1 and Part 2. Once again, I think ideally something that you've used in the past would be best case scenario. Below here is the rubric on how I'll score that. Once again, this is the syllabus created at the top that's on the top of the Moodle website. All right, your grading scale, here's the how things are graded, and once again all the different assignments. So you have 4 forms, 10 points each, 50 points total. You have papers, 25 points each. There are 3 of them, worth 75 points. Course assessment, also referred to as the final project, which is 150 points. And then on the last week, there's a course evaluation that I give you 5 bonus points for completing. And then obviously the bibliography here. Okay, something else I created just to make things ever real clear. Students in the past have wanted to know some different due dates. So just as I went through on the syllabus, forum number 1, and this is also on Moodle before the forum, but each of the 5 posts, your original post based on the topic that I've assigned that week, should be done no later than Thursday by 11 p.m. That's to give everybody in class the enough time for them to respond to three peers by that Sunday at 11. So in this case, Thursday, whatever date that is that falls in this week, you need to have done your week, your original post of 250 words or more. All right, and then sometime after that, complete 3 different peers, read what they have responded to and their reflection or their responses, and you respond to that. Now, obviously, if somebody posts theirs on the very first day, like Monday or Tuesday of that week, and then you go ahead and do your responding to the 3 before Thursday, or I'm sorry, before Sunday, that's okay. I mean, technically, if someone's responded, you could do them all on Tuesday or Wednesday of the week. But those are some parameters for all the forums. All right, the papers are always due no later than Sunday of the week that it's due. So Sunday must fall on July 3rd for this paper. For this paper here, Sunday falls on the 17th, and then this paper here, it falls on the 31st. Once again, I give you an article, and I'll go in the Moodle and show you where those are at. And then lastly, week 7. I'll be clear on this. The week ends on the 7th, but I need all parts due on August the 3rd. I'm going to need time to grade all these. Obviously, I think right now we have approximately 27 students assigned in the course. If each person has 3 parts, you're looking at close to 80 different things I'm going to need to grade. So all 3 parts are due in Moodle and in live text no later than August 3rd. And then the course evaluation, I value your feedback, good, bad, indifferent. I want your feedback. In doing so, I'll give you 5 bonus points for that. That's technically, I believe, 2%, a 2% freebie for the course. All right, and then right here, still in the first section, notes with assignments. All right, this document here, goes along with the syllabus for example, chapter 1. As you're reading, some notes that have been taken here, or some comments and things like that. So I've given you some notes here for the assigned readings. First week is chapters 1, 2, and 12. The forum, same thing that's in Moodle already. Same thing for week 2. Some notes based on the chapters. This week, here are the forum questions. It's in Moodle as well. So this would be, for forum 2, for week 2. This would be the topic that you'd write your 250 words on or more, and then go to someone else and respond, get some dialogue to what your peers have said for theirs. So once again, these are already in Moodle. And then paper number 1 is also in week 2. I posted an article called Formative Assessment That Truly Informs Instruction. And just like I said before, reflection of 2 pages or more. Paper should be double spaced and 12 font. This is for everything in the course for each week. It gives you some notes or some comments to help guide your reading while you're reading in there for each week. And then the forum questions, they're also in Moodle. And then the paper, what you're supposed to be reflecting on, the article and all that is also in here. Just like I said, it's also in Moodle. All right. So I went through, once again, original post for the first week. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. On the first day, on Monday, no later, no sooner. syllabus, due dates, notes with assignments, details. Here are documents for the core assessment and final project. For part 1, part 2, and part 3, if you'll use these are pretty much templates that'll help guide exactly what needs done for each of the 3 parts of your core assessment, your final project that's due that last week, I believe August the 3rd. Take a good look at these, read through them. If I were you, I would try to pull a quality assessment that you've used in the past out. Go through that. If you still have some of the student work or at least the results they did, use those, reflect on it, but everything right here. So, last week you're going to have done a real good job, a thorough job of filling in part 1 right on this Word document template. Complete everything very thoroughly and upload that separate one that's also due August the 3rd, part 2, the results analysis. I've guided your thinking and answered the questions as thoroughly as possible, and then the reflection, obviously, for part 3. And also at the top, here are some examples of the core assessments, and I've given you a few examples of what some students have done in the past. I feel like in my experience as a student, if you kind of make it clear on what some others have done, it might clear up your thinking. So here's a lot of overall stuff for each course, and then week by week, I've broken this up. Once again, this is stuff that's off the syllabus for chapters 1, 2, 3. All right, so for the forums, as I've stated earlier, post response by Thursday of each week, and then respond to 3 of your peers by Sunday at 11. There's some instructions for the forum. I pretty much already went through that. All right, so groups. So it's already found out what group that you respond to, because I've divided it. It's 27 people in the class, 9 in each group. Go to the group that you you're assigned to. So right here are the groups. All right, so group 1 are these individuals. Group 2 are these individuals. And group 3 are these individuals. I just divide you in groups because we're such a large class that I would think it would be difficult, be a little overwhelming with so many responses going on. So I've just divided you in class. Obviously, when I grade those, this is where I'm going to do it. So there's nothing that you really need to do for the forums for this one here, but that's where I'm going to go in and score it. Quite a few of the weeks, I've just done some extra resources or reading about different assessment for learning, curriculum assessment type topics if you'd like to read. Likewise, same thing for week 2, chapters, some of the learning targets. Week 2, different groups. Once again, back here from the same group that you were in. In week 2 for your forum, go to the correct one, post your original response, and things like that. So for example, I also put it in here, and I should have showed this on the first forum, but it tells you exactly what you need to do inside the forum. Just add a new discussion. That's where you write your 250-word response. So each of the 5 are just like that. I tell you what to reflect on or discuss, and then the score. And I do want to talk about the paper. So the instructions for the paper for week 2, read the article, write a reflection of 2 pages or more, and this paper should be double-spaced in 12 font. Already discussed that. I give you a link to that paper right below. That's where you type it up and upload it right here. And then no different than week 1, some extra content, not required, but just some extra reading. Basically, I went through weeks 1 and 2. Weeks 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the same. Week 3, have a forum, some extra reading. Week 4, there's your readings. You have another week 4 forum. All right, paper number 2, you're basically going to read in this article, doing just like you did in week 1, of a 2-page or more reflection or response to it based on this article, and here's where you upload it. Week 5, you have your last forum, some extra content. Week 6, your reading for the week. Paper number 3 is due based on this article right here. Upload it, 2-page paper reflection. If I remember correctly, this article's not really an article, it's a lot of information. So you might really need to reflect on some specific information. This article's, like I said, just a lot of information. I'm sure you've heard of Harry Wong, First Days of School book. Gives a lot of research, a lot of information in here. So, basically what stands out to you. The other articles have a little more length, give you a little bit more information to reflect on, but that one's a little shorter, but packed full of information. And then some extra readings. And then the last week of class, your final core assessment. Here's where you post part one, part two, part three. Those are where you actually post each of the parts so I can grade them. But remember, you also go post it into live text. Course evaluation, basically go into the portal, complete the course evaluation, and then go in and complete this form right here, just indicating that yes, um, I see right already I have a date I need to change from a previous course, but go in and do that. Just initial sign and date saying that yes, you completed the course evaluation. Upload that on here, and like I said, you'll get 5 bonus points. Hopefully, you found this informative and covered everything. Um, I think at a later date, I'll probably go into a little bit more detail about the course assessment, maybe in a separate video. But overall, this is the entire, this is the course. Make sure you thoroughly look at the syllabus, the due dates. Um, refer to those each week. Do your required readings. Stay up with your forums. Plan ahead for your papers. Pretty straightforward stuff. A straightforward person. Listen, I'm going to do anything I can to make this a good learning experience for you on curriculum and assessment for you all. If I can do anything for you, please shoot me an email. Um, Shoot me an email. I'll respond to it. I usually do this very same day, if not definitely the next day. But shoot me an email will be very helpful um, to get some feedback or to get a question answered. But I hope you found this informative, and I look forward to working with each of you. If I can do anything for you, answer any questions, please let me know. Thank you.